So when I got done playing football, I was like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I immediately wrote a list of my biggest fears. And public speaking was one of them.
Why is this not a book?
Well, I'm writing a new book about how to eliminate self-doubt. Because I feel like self-doubt is the killer of dreams. And almost everyone has doubt.
Welcome to the new series, Cocktails and Conversation with Kat and Nat.
And we've decided to bring you all of these conversations with people that we like to have where there's a little bit of wisdom, always hilarity and hilaria. Yes. Some famous, some just cool, some drink, some don't drink, but there's always a conversation.
Cheers, join us.
I have to call you out on one thing, okay?
Call me out on anything you want.
So, when we first originally talked, you were like, I'm not a mom. I don't know if they'll resonate with me. And the reason I said that, when I was like, interesting, I was like, I think that's the crux of motherhood, that so many of us feel like people think we're just moms. But I'm like, we're actually humans. That keep,
You're a human being?
that we keep other humans alive. So we do what all of these people do that are moms, but then keep people alive while we're trying to do what everybody else is doing, which is so interesting to me that people have a perception that moms should be, they think differently.
But I took your saying, like, I'm not a mom, do you still want me, as like you were just like, I want to make sure that like you're interested in what I have to say.
That's
But why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But why wouldn't they?
No, it's not that they wouldn't. I mean, 60% of my audience is actually women, so they must be liking something about...
I wonder why.
But I mean, I have a lot of great women on who are, spiritual thought leaders and things like that. So for me, I'm assuming they're resonating more towards like those women I bring on, I guess. But
Can you tell us what you do?
I'm just a human being.
He's taking my line now. He's like,
Just a human being that all moms resonate with.
Perfect. Yes. And what do you do for a living?
That's probably worse than asking someone for a hug.
That's the worst.
That's the worst than asking for a hug.
We hate that too.
So I get the award for the worst question.
Yes, we do. We hate.
Did you call me out? I'm calling her out.
Yeah, we hate. Where are you? What do you? What's next? We hate. What's
the worst question.
This is
besides. What do you do for a living?
Okay, got it. What do you?
Those two things.
Why?
I try to never ask those.
Why?
So what do you do?
I want to know
so
why.
tell me what you do. Actually.
Can
I actually?
Yeah. Touching's fine. Quick, brief touches. That's enough.
What do I do?
No, I'm serious.
I've been trying to figure out the best way to say it in a catchy one sentence answer.
Okay.
When someone asks me, "What do you do?" Because I'd really rather not answer the question.
We feel the same way, by the way.
I think. Yeah. What do you guys do?
No,
we chat about mom stuff.
I think not, sir. Don't turn that around.
Yeah.
The question is for you.
I create content to help people improve their life is the main thing. And the podcast that I do, the School of Greatness, is kind of the main focus. But we run events, we do books. I've got courses, membership sites.
How do you know how to inspire people? What's it about you that...
It's not about me, it's about the message. And my goal is to ask the right questions.
Okay.
To stay curious. To essentially be like your kids. And be like, why? And annoy the crap out of you, but not annoy you.
Yeah.
To try to get the most out of you.
Because the answer is here, but sometimes it's buried so deep, and you keep asking, it's going to surface.
And until you actually hug long enough, you'll open up about what's inside.
I'm going to fucking hug you on the way out of here.
Yeah, you know what? Hug you so hard you can't get up.
7 seconds.
I mean, for me, I used to be an athlete. My whole dream was to be a professional athlete.
Football?
I played football professionally. Got injured really quickly. I broke my wrist. You can see it scarred here. So I was in a cast from here. I don't know if any of your kids have broken arms. I hope they
Not yet.
don't.
They
I was in a cast from, actually my thumb was in a cast to my fingers in this position. So I was like this for 6 months.
Did this not go numb?
It was miserable.
What?
But then again, I was constantly doing this.
Oh.
And I could do this, and I could move it here, but I couldn't straighten my arm.
6 months?
Do they have a better system now?
I hope so, because they took a bone out of my hip, put it in my wrist, and it just took forever to fuse together. So I was in this position because they couldn't have me twisting it, otherwise they wouldn't have healed. And so my whole life kind of like crashed because I didn't have a plan B. I had no clue what I was going to do with my life. I just said, I want to be an athlete. That's all I know. That's all I care about. And I didn't go to school to learn. I just went to school to play sports.
You know why women resonate with you? Because so many are taught to just grow up and become moms. And that's the goal. And then they become a mom and they're like...
What's next?
This is the number one question that moms say to us. What do I do now, and how do I know what to do?
Just be a mom in the next 20 years.
And then what, though?
Yeah.
But even everything's like, what now? So I need to finish your story, but that you just like dinged it on me that what you're saying is what is every mom who sits at home.
Where were you born? Where are you from?
Small town, Delaware, Ohio.
Okay.
We like our small town boys.
You're the
Small
second
town
small town
boy.
boy.
Where are you guys from? Texas?
Big city girls.
Toronto, Canada.
You're Canadian?
Canadian!
Canadian?
Canadian?
Is that
For some
amazing?
reason I think Texas for some reason.
Well, blonde hair, big boobs. I don't know.
Wait, I have big boobs.
Well, I pretend.
I know you have.
You're both
3 bras
Toronto?
on. Yeah.
You sound like Americans.
Yeah, I know.
I'm half American, but we're
I have an
born and
American
raised.
husband.
Toronto.
Wow.
John, I asked
Yeah.
him all the
Don't
time.
meet many Canadians like you ladies.
That's a compliment.
We're
We're doing to
passionate.
spin that into a compliment.
Yeah.
We heard that we're loud Canadians. Like Canadians are usually, yeah, I guess. That's what like
Committed.
committed to the craft of
That's
finding
it.
more about curious people.
So every day you create content and deliver it on different social media
Yeah, I mean,
platforms.
I interview people.
I know you do.
My goal is to interview the most fascinating people in the world to figure out how they became great at what they do, whatever it is that they do,
Right.
at the greatest level.
Is there
I
anyone?
became fascinated after I got done playing professional football. I was sleeping on my sister's couch for a year and a half. Didn't make any money. This was in 2007 to almost 2009. And I was trying to figure out, what am I to do? I'm a 24-year-old grown man with no job, no college degree. My dream's over. I don't know what to do with my life. And I said to myself, how can I make my life like a sport? This is all I know is sports.
Right.
How can I make life a sport? Well, what's the first thing I need? I need a coach. I need someone to give me guidance to figure out how to set a goal for my next stage. And then I need to create some goals.
Who's the coach?
I had 3 key mentors from Ohio that were kind of guiding me in different areas of what I was interested in. One was a great public speaker.
Did you have to pay them?
I didn't have any money, so I somehow swindled them and convinced them
Okay,
to work
just
with me and just
okay.
like have pity on me.
Okay,
You know, it was
good
like
one,
one of
good
those
one,
moments,
good
right?
one.
It's like, please, I have a cast, help me. You know, it was
Okay.
like,
How did you know you wanted to be a public speaker? You were just not shy and good at speaking out loud? Good
So
voice?
my entire life, I think one of the things that's helped me along the way is I've been so terrified to do so many things throughout my life. I was the youngest of 4. My brother went to prison when I was 8 years old for 4.5 years. I was sexually abused and raped by a man when I was 5. And I had no friends until I was 13. Friends that I had to pay for. Literally, I had to pay one time to be a part of a friend group, a club. And I was in the special needs classes, so I was able-bodied, but I was in the little classes on the side
So were we, by the
with
way.
everyone
Why were you in
in
special needs?
wheelchairs because I couldn't read and write.
Okay.
I couldn't comprehend. When I went to 8th grade, they started testing us, and they said I had a 2nd grade reading level.
They waited till 8th grade to do.
No, they just started doing more like standardized tests, and they're like, I went to a new school in 8th grade, and this school tested me, and they were like, okay, you have a 2nd grade reading level, which I pretty much knew because every time the teacher would ask me to read aloud, I would just stumble over my words because I could not read a full sentence.
And you couldn't
without
articulate
seeing-
what you were feeling.
And I couldn't remember what I was reading because I couldn't read it. And so when we do tests, I would always fail. And then I would just feel, it just confirmed how stupid and insecure and dumb and insignificant I was.
Did your
every
parents
time I
know?
went to school. I mean, I was the youngest of 4. They were struggling to make money. They were doing their best to help me. My mom would help me, but she's working a few jobs. My dad's working until 7 o'clock every night, just trying to pay for, my brother's in prison. It's like, there's just challenges.
And then there was those 2 big
They
sisters?
were very loved. My parents were great. My mom tutored me. She would come to elementary school and for an hour or 2 and help with reading in the class just so I didn't feel alone.
Aww.
So she would come and do her best, take time away from work to come teach me, but I didn't know what dyslexia was then.
Right.
And it wasn't until later I was like, oh, I guess I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
And so to get back to that, I guess the story is, I just felt very insecure in my childhood. I felt like no one cared, no one loved me. Even though my parents loved me and my family loved me, I didn't feel, the story I told myself is no one loves me because I'm stupid and no one's ever going to love me. And for whatever reason, I just feel like I had nothing to lose after a certain amount of years. I just said, whatever I'm most afraid of, I'm going to go do it. And when I was a teenager, no girls would talk to me.
Yeah.
I was 6'4", this tall, at like 11 years old. And
Shut.
Why were they not
up.
talking to you?
because I was like super skinny and gangly and like huge ears and big teeth, like
Did your ears shrink?
no, I just
He
kinda
grew into
it,
them.
right?
No, I had mine
So-
pinned back. Mine were
Right.
huge too.
It's great. And I was in the bottom of my class all the way through high school. When I got to high school, they would have actually rankings of classmates based on grade
Where?
card.
Like
Based
on
on
the
what?
wall?
Based on what?
No, in your grade
Grades?
card. On your grade card, they would rank you on the top of your card. So I was
God we didn't
always
have that.
I was always in the bottom 4
That's
all through
so
high school.
bad. That's
Based
so
on-
Who
terrible.
thought that was a good
I
idea?
don't know.
Who thought?
I mean,
We don't do that in Canada,
That's
just
smart.
so you know.
so there was always every day was a confirmation that I'm not good enough.
Oh,
And I was ugly. I was this. It was just everything.
Really?
Right? Yeah. For me, that's the story
that's
I told
what you
myself.
thought.
That's the story I told myself.
okay.
And so I remember the first challenge for me was every guy's challenge.
What?
It's how to get a girl to like them. Right? It's like how to survive. You need a girlfriend in high school.
Right?
And I remember I was.
What grade are you in now?
Then?
Yeah, then.
I mean, I was 14.
Like
through,
ninth
16.
grade?
Yeah, ninth.
I'm gonna get a girlfriend. That would be.
Well, it was just like, how do you get a girl to talk to you? That's like the insecurity of guys in high school.
Okay.
Do you have kids? Do you have boys?
I have 3 boys. Yeah.
Are they
I
in high
got
school?
one.
No.
They're all under the age of 11. 4 to
I'm
11.
telling
I got
you,
4 of them,
the
though.
thing that the guys are going to think about the most is like, do girls like me?
Okay.
Like, what am I doing that's going to get a girl to like want to talk to me or
Okay.
sit by me or whatever?
Were
it
you
is.
playing football at this time?
I didn't start playing until I was a sophomore.
Okay.
But
What'd
so
you
I remember
do?
I was just like scared to talk to girls, and I remember I said to myself like, I'm sick and tired of being afraid. I'm done being afraid of talking to girls, being rejected, being laughed at, like everything, and I'm going to master this thing. And I said to myself, from 16, I was 16 going into 17. I was in the summer break. I said, okay, every time I just created a game in my mind and a challenge. I said, this whole summer, every time I see a girl that gives me a little bit of butterflies,
Yeah.
that's like, ooh, that's like, she's cute. I am going to not walk, sprint up to them. In a non-creepy way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Very nice
Excuse me, okay.
But I'm gonna like not run away like I always do. I'm gonna actually gonna turn and start going towards them and say hi.
Nervous for you right now.
And
I
it
know.
was the most scary thing the first few times because I'd always been rejected and always been laughed at or whatever. It was just like the story I told myself. And so I gave myself this challenge, and the first couple of weeks I was horrible. I would just stutter. I didn't know what to say. I would just make a fool of myself. These girls would just laugh, and I was just like, I'm gonna do this until I'm no longer afraid.
What happened
Right.
the first time you did it? What was
I
she
think-
like?
I think she was. It was just so awkward.
Oh yeah,
Just so
really
awkward.
weird way of
So
meeting
weird.
girls. It's good. Good.
But here's
job.
what happened. Here's what happened. But I remember I went to this. My dad was a.
How many girls do you think it was? Like you eventually, like how
I probably talked to hundreds of people.
Wow.
But it wasn't with like the intention of like, I'm gonna get a girlfriend. I'm gonna get them to like kiss me. I was just like, I need to overcome this
Yeah,
fear.
fair. That's very
And if
mature,
they
by
never
the
see
way.
me again, like I'm okay.
Were you handsome?
I think I was I had a lot of acne then too, so I
Yeah.
was like insecure.
I know.
I
Or
had like a
no
bowl
height.
cut. I
height
was like,
works for you.
I think I was getting more handsome. Like I was growing into my body, all those things.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. There's a lot of handsome men who are still afraid to talk to girls.
Uh-huh.
And lots of girls who are afraid. Like if
Absolutely.
everyone's
Absolutely.
yeah,
Everyone's afraid to be
everyone-
rejected.
Yeah, everyone's afraid
Everyone.
to be.
We'd never have talked to a boy, like walk up to a boy
Right?
at that age.
No, if they
Like,
talked to me,
So-
I'd have been like,
Oh
So
my
by
God,
the end of
God.
the summer, I got so comfortable with rejection, and I was just like, it doesn't matter, and I'm just here to have a good time, and I just want to say hi to someone. I don't have an agenda.
So you at 16, you got really comfortable with rejection. That's like
Really comfortable with
That's
rejection.
really far advanced in human
Really comfortable with
evolution
rejection.
because we know people that are in their 30s and afraid to be 70s who are afraid to be rejected.
And I think that's what gave me an advantage in like, I was the only one in on my sports teams in college that actually pursued the dream of playing professional football. But I was not the best athlete. There was guys much better than me. But a lot of them stopped talking to me when I went to go play professional football. I was so hurt by the guys who I thought were like my brothers that I practiced with every day.
Yeah, they are. They
Sweat
technically
with.
are, right?
You're literally like taking showers naked with dudes.
Yeah.
Why did
Find
they
that
want to
weird.
talk to you?
Right?
Why? But why did they? Why?
I later
Jealous?
found out like they stayed in their comfort zone. They stayed in like the small town they were in. They got a job. They didn't go for the dream that they really wanted to. And they saw me doing it, and I think they were just mad or
they're mad at themselves.
resentful. Yeah, whatever it is.
Themselves. They
So,
weren't mad at him.
It just was really hurtful because I was like, man, it's lonely going after your dreams when there's other people that should be, but they're not, and they don't talk to you, and they. So I really learned quickly, like, okay, some things you're gonna have to go do on your own if you really want it bad enough. And so I learned a lot of lessons. So there's a lot of challenges I gave myself since I was 16. I was afraid of public speaking my whole life because I couldn't.
So were we,
because I
babe.
couldn't stand up because I couldn't
So
stand in
were
front of
we.
the class and read aloud because all the people would laugh around.
You know I
me.
dropped out of high school, right?
I do now.
Yeah. Didn't finish, and
I had a bad public speaking thing that like.
Incident.
Yeah, I like.
Now you guys are speaking in front of like millions of women. Every
Oh
day.
yeah, I mean you can't
But
imagine the
but
first time we had to do it. And I
we
was like,
argued.
You do it. I can't
You do it.
I'm not
You do
gonna
it. You do it. We couldn't even talk. We
shaking.
Yeah, shaking. We would be like,
But it's an alarm.
Amber alert.
Amber alert. But
Yeah.
no, one time
Fuck.
I was like cool with my small class, and I won this like public speaking like thing in my class with one
Wow.
of my friends. Like one class.
Like between you and one other person, you won.
Basically. But then from winning, and then this is why I always tell my kids, like, you know, like, be careful, because if you win in the class, you'll have to go in front of the whole school.
be careful.
Be prepared.
That's really good parenting
Because
advice. Don't try too hard. You don't want to
Just be
win.
careful,
Just
yeah.
be
My
careful
average.
about that.
I-
Third place, good third.
Third's good. I went and I did it in front of the whole class, the whole like school, and I got up there. I said 5 words. I forgot the whole thing.
Oh.
Everyone's staring at me. I couldn't say another word, and I just walked off. And I'm like, I know there's a video. I've never seen it, but from that moment on, I was like, I cannot talk in front of people. Like that will happen again for sure.
Wow.
Obviously, I worked through that.
Right here we
Talked a little too much. No,
Can't stop
Um,
now.
Yeah, and so when I got done playing football, I was like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I immediately wrote a list of my biggest fears. And public speaking was one of them.
Why is this not a book?
I've
Wait,
written some
don't-
stuff in some of my
wait,
books about this.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just that's a fear. That's a.
Well, I'm writing a new book about how to eliminate self-doubt. Because I feel like self-doubt is the killer of dreams. And almost everyone has doubt.
We
Can you
just did a podcast.
But can you eliminate
before
it
you got-
without like going through it? Like, you know, you got so used to
Do
rejection.
you want
which-
that moved? Is that your
No,
list
it's
too
okay.
big? Okay.
No.
I thought you were gonna say, Nat, do you want some prosecco?
Yeah, baby,
I
what's
know,
up, I'll get it. She Nat
I just think
one
one thing
too.
Karen, but I just think it's so ironic your story of like walking up to girls and talking to them when I was telling my husband before we left like who I was gonna meet, and what an idiot, he didn't know you, but I'm like showing you, he goes wait, he was like okay, I was like, wait, who's that? I go, that's his girlfriend. And Mark's like, on his words, like, never mind, what's her name? He's like, holy shit, this guy has a good time. From not being able to say hi to a girl, wanting a girlfriend, to the hottest girl on the fucking internet, as far as I can see.
She's pretty special.
Wow, Mark's really jealous. He must
There's
have
a-
fun.
there's
I go,
a lot of,
you can't get her as your girlfriend. You can get a girlfriend, Mark, but not her.
There's a lot, you know, it's interesting. There's a lot of hot, beautiful, sexy women in the world. And I've met so many great women.
Yeah.
But when you want to build a life partnership with someone,
Yeah.
sounds cliche. I'm
No.
Sure
That wasn't supposed to happen. I'm really sorry. That
Wow.
just was.
You almost made her lose her eyeballs.
That just went.
all
That went.
good.
That just went. That I had no control.
Okay.
That.
He's never been drunk in his life.
But we're not giving you any. Don't
No,
worry. This is for her.
I'm good. I
He's
got
gonna
my
open
boy.
that one.
You know why that you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
No,
this
how
woman.
much-
So I've never been. This is gonna sound cliche, and I always.
We don't care about that.
I think I always was like, oh, I want to be with like a hot, sexy girl. What?
I think
blah, blah, blah.
every people think that.
Everyone wants that, but I've been single at different stages of my life, and I've had fun and dated hot, sexy women that
Really?
that bring
Attaboy.
that also like I'm like there's some emptiness to it too.
Yeah,
where-
I agree.
I'm not saying all hot women this way, but there was I was choosing women where they weren't growth minded, they didn't have the same interests, and it feels like okay, just being sexy and hot is not everything. It's fun for a little bit, but it's not a life partner that you want to be with.
Can I- so you
remember
got
telling myself
sexy-
I need to find someone who's going to blow my mind sexually and beauty-wise, but also have the most incredible heart in the world.
Blows your mind.
Can I ask you a personal
I mean,
question?
just someone who I'm attracted to.
I know. I'm just saying.
But
you know.
they need to have the most incredible heart, growth-minded, and that's why
You
Are,
really got a
wait,
package.
are you a naturally optimistic person, or
Yeah,
do you
absolutely.
have to work on it?
I'm naturally positive, optimistic.
If you had to sum yourself up in one word, what would it be?
Oh God.
Like if you had to be like, I am, like we have one team member who has one tattoo on her.
Right. It's so well suited.
Well, yeah, what is the word that it would be? I want you to say one too.
I know, I'm really nervous.
One word?
Yeah.
I'm loving.
Loving. Okay. What's yours?
Like sci-fun.
That's two.
Sci-fun?
Sorry.
It's Australian.
What?
Sci-fun. Like sci-fun.
So, Kat, what would yours be?
Kat, what's yours?
So, Kat, yours would be, I would say unstoppable.
Oh.
Like, not tenacious, but like you're not putting a wall. If there's a wall, I'll plow through the wall, and there's nothing you can do to.
And also sci-fun.
And Serapha.
Sci-fun.
That's why there's two of us. Okay, I do have more questions for you. I was going to ask if you know anything about it.
Before you ask the question.
Yeah.
So just to recap what I was saying.
Yes.
Not about the girl.
No.
But about speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I keep us on track. We're bad at that.
It's okay. When I was done playing football, I wrote a list of my fears. And the top of the list was public speaking because I was never able to stand in front of my classmates, 5 people, without trembling. And I remember, and I was also afraid of dancing.
Did you go on Dancing with the Stars?
I would love to.
Wait. You were afraid of so you're at a club and then the music starts and you're like afraid like that you weren't going to be good at it, or like afraid of slow dancing?
Slow dancing, I was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
it's pretty simple. It's just about, but I had like a little bit of rhythm. Like I could. Whatever.
Do you have rhythm now?
Well, so
DJ pumped that part. I was like, I need to. Do you have a move?
So-
Afraid of dancing.
So I mean,
Especially because you don't drink.
I've never been drunk.
But you've had a
drunk
drink.
to be fine with dancing.
So I started seeking out these mentors and seeking out people that I felt like I was inspired by, that I wanted to be like.
Yes.
They were always like, they were inspiring, they made me proud of what they were creating, all these things. And I met, I met someone at a salsa club. I went to a salsa club because I was scared to dance.
You're a unique being.
I was thinking of like club music, and he's like salsa.
So I went to a salsa club because I was terrified of it. And so I said, I'm going to check this out. And I had a cast on. So I'm at a club. I'm a tall white guy where it's all Latinos at a salsa club.
Yeah.
So I already stand out as being a tall white dude with the cast like waving at people like an idiot.
Sounds like a good time to try salsa.
And I have a cutoff shirt on because I couldn't put an actual long sleeve shirt on the cast, right? So I had this cutoff shirt. It just didn't.
Did you have muscles?
I
It was
mean,
covered
I'm
by
in a
the cast?
cast.
Okay,
Yes,
never mind.
So I go.
Individual.
So dancing was one, especially salsa dancing was one. Like partner dancing.
When do you salsa dance in life?
Like maybe at weddings when they put on that one song.
When is it like I need to? Now I'm gonna bust out
Yeah,
my
like
salsa.
I never felt the need to like master my salsa skills.
Salsa.
When did you?
But I remember watching it on TV, being like, I could never do that.
No.
Can you do
So-
it now?
I'm gonna guess the answer will go to
So
yes.
I go to a salsa club
Alone?
and alone.
You meet this girl.
Alone. I go by myself and I start going every week to this club and just sit in the corner and watch.
They think you're weird now.
Of
They
course.
think you're a
They think
pervert.
I'm
Like,
weird.
who is this pervert in a cast?
What
watching
city are
us?
you in now?
Columbus, Ohio. So
There's a salsa
There's a
club
small
there.
salsa scene.
That's mind blowing
It's a
in
small scene.
itself.
There's a good Latino group there. So anyways, I start going. I have all this free time on my hand. Right?
No pun intended.
I have all this free time because I'm not working. I'm not playing football. I can't work out. I'm just sleeping on my sister's couch at this time.
Yes.
And I started asking myself, what can I, after a number of months of being kind of depressed and like down on myself, I say, okay, I got to overcome my fears. I got to do something with my life. I knew about the salsa club because my girlfriend was dating a Colombian who told me about it, so I went to the club. That's how I found out about it.
Current girlfriend?
No, my sister's boyfriend, was Colombian.
Okay.
So I found out about it through him. So I go to the club and I start meeting some of the people, the salseros, the people who are dancing.
Salseros.
Oh, they have
Salseros, yes.
Salseros.
Start meeting some of them. The women are like nice. They're like, why don't you come out and dance? I'm like, no, I don't want to make you look bad. I was really just terrified of embarrassing
Yes.
myself. After 3 months of going almost every week, I finally start to get some good friendships with some of the people there. And one girl just eventually just drags me out. And I'm like kicking and screaming.
You still have
I'm
the
like,
cast on at this time?
I still have the cast on. And
So
I'm like
long
kicking and
this
screaming.
cast-
I'm kicking and screaming, but she's like ripping my hand
Good for
out.
her.
And I'm like, no. And it's in the middle of this like heavy song, this hot, heavy song. Everyone's on the floor. I'm in the middle of the floor. I'm literally like
I
so
would be
embarrassed,
dead.
shaking.
I would be dead.
The only white dude in the whole floor. I can't even understand the music.
You've been there
It's
3 months.
Spanish.
You know a little bit.
Nothing.
Come on, a
I never
little
tried
bit.
a thing. And so she's like, just look at me, and we're gonna do the basic steps. So I'm looking down at her feet. I'm literally doing the basic steps. I'm stepping on her. I'm bumping into people. I feel so stupid.
Oh my god.
And
yeah,
one
you
song
probably
complete.
look
I don't look
stupid.
up at all because I'm just like, I'm so stupid. And we finish the song, and she says, stay out here. Just like, keep doing the basics with me. And I'm like, I'm not making you look good. I'm making you look horrible. And all these other guys are twirling these girls around, making them look so amazing. I'm making you look horrible. She goes, it doesn't matter.
She didn't give two shits.
She didn't care. She's like, just do the basics. Keep doing the basics. And I was there for about an hour.
Did you look down at her feet, or are you supposed to look into her eyes?
You're supposed to stay connected, but
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah.
like
The
embarrassed.
whole time you're dancing.
Not the whole time. You're not going to stare the whole time for 20 minutes, but it's like you want to connect. It's a partner experience.
I'm
Yeah.
new to this, Salsito.
I'll see to you later.
It's like when you talk with your girlfriend, do you look away the whole time you're talking to them? Do you feel like you're being present?
I do find eye contact very intimate. It's weird. You have great eye contact, but it's very intimate.
So eye contact was something I was afraid of.
I'm not afraid of it. It's just.
But it's hard to stay present and connected, right? If I look at
so
you for like 20 seconds.
weird. It's very.
Oh my god, I have a staring contest right now.
No,
Go,
I-
yes,
we
yes.
did.
See who
We
but-
just did.
No, do it again.
No, it's not like
No,
that.
come on,
See
come on,
what?
let's do it.
And see what?
See who doesn't smile.
No.
I mean, I'll win this all day.
I play this with my kids all the time. You'll win this all day? We
No,
can't make you
I
smile.
go without
okay,
blinking,
you
without
two do
smiling.
Okay, go.
You already smiled. Natalie. What is. What? Okay. You're smiling, Natalie.
Fine.
So
You're
I after about an hour of me messing up, I finally was like, okay, I'm in. I looked around the room. No one was looking at me.
No.
No one cared
You
Exactly.
know
at all.
they say dancing is very much like sex.
Oh wow.
It is. It
But
is.
you know what you just said right there? You take off your cover up and you walk around the pool, everyone's gonna be like,
Oh my
look
god.
cares?
at her
Look
body.
at them.
And then you realize everyone's staring at themselves.
No one
Everyone's
cares.
worried about themselves.
Everyone's
Nobody cares
in their
about your
own
body.
head.
Nobody cares about your dancing.
Exactly.
Wow.
So before you get to your next question, so recap it. I'll try to make it tight.
Okay, good.
I say, okay, I'm all in on salsa dancing. I started to become so obsessed with mastering salsa dancing. I downloaded a greatest hits of salsa songs. I was a truck driver at the time. So I was driving.
What kind of truck?
I was driving like the biggest size U-Haul before you need a truck license.
Okay.
Imagine you pulled up next to him and he was driving the truck.
Hey.
So
Oh
I was driving every day for 6 hours from Columbus, Ohio to Cincinnati, dropping off Napa Auto car parts and then bringing new car parts back every day. And I would listen to this salsa CD for 6 hours straight. And all I would do is imagine myself dancing.
How old are you right now?
23, 24, something like that. So the truck only went 55 miles an hour when I put the pedal to the metal.
Oh my god.
So I was in the slow lane, just bored out of my mind. In Ohio, it probably looks like Canada, you know, where you guys are at. It's like flat. It's just like cornfields everywhere.
Yeah.
We don't
And,
have corn, but that's okay.
do
And
have
for
corn.
6 hours a day, I would listen to the songs. 6 hours a day. And then at night, you'll get a kick out of this.
Okay.
I had a mirror, like a tall mirror,
And you
and I would
practice.
practice by myself. I would watch YouTube tutorials. And I learned salsa through YouTube.
Are you a perfectionist?
I'm someone who likes to master something. I don't like to be perfect. I like to be a master.
Yeah, because that's a lot. That's a.
So are you
Huge
so good? Are you
commitment.
so good at salsa now?
I would say that I can dance with the greatest salsa dancers in the world and make them look incredible. So
Seriously?
I've
I
danced
did
with,
not think you were just gonna say
I mean,
that.
I've danced with a lot of the girls from Dancing with the Stars, and they're always like Julianne Hough.
Where?
I interviewed
Just where?
Julianne.
Like,
I
you
brought
pull some
Julianne.
music
I
up.
brought Julianne on my podcast 4 years ago. Julianne Hough.
And she was impressed.
And I was like, hey, let's dance real quick. And I just turned music on, and I was dancing. She was like, what? She was like, yeah, there's videos of me doing this
Is your
online.
girlfriend good at it?
She's not a salsa dancer. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but I want to get her into it.
How
I
long
mean,
you
if you
together?
can master it, she can master it.
She could, yeah. I think
How
anyone could.
long you guys been
Yeah.
together?
It'd be almost a year.
Feels longer.
Now we have to go salsa dancing.
So
No
anyways,
fucking
so
way.
anyways, I met a guy at the
No.
salsa club. You'll get the kick out of this.
Okay.
I like the kick.
Who-
I'm gonna start
who-
that. I get a kick out of this.
I met a guy at the salsa club who I started to see a lot. And I started asking, one of the questions I asked him was, what do you do for a living? And he said, I'm not going to tell you. I'm teasing. It's supposed to be a joke.
Oh my god! I was like, wait, what? Tell us the life lesson.
And when I asked him, like, what do you do? Like, I
Yeah.
was curious. And it's something you don't ask, but I asked him anyways. And he said,
Why
I
don't you
speak-
ask it?
It's not interesting.
Oh, I find
It's not an interesting question to start when you meet someone.
When you're okay.
I'm not offended. I'm not pissed or anything. I'm just saying.
It's like a girl being like, I'm a carny runner. Like, what do you do for a living?
I just think it's a lazy question to ask.
Okay, fair. That's fair. What do you?
I want to say that I don't think it sparks enough curiosity in the person to be excited to answer.
What would be your first question when you're meeting someone?
What are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Really?
See what happened right there? You were like that. So if I really ask you, what are you most grateful for?
I know exactly what she's
What are you most grateful for in your life?
I have moments of every. Oh no, I was going to say
Right now.
At this moment,
like at this stage of your life.
Oh, I'm like today.
In the last week.
I'm grateful for my. I'm grateful for my life with her. Like right now, what we're doing and what we're living.
In a moment.
Oh, shut up! I'm grateful for literally. I am grateful for like. Basically waking like we are basic.
I'm gonna hump you.
Our gratefulness is waking up every day, and then everything on top of that is we have a lot of fun with nothing because you don't know our story, but it's kind of crazy. People have one of my questions for you: what is your biggest misconception? What is the biggest misconception people have about you? Which is super interesting because when people meet you, they automatically think something of you.
What do they think?
Just like you thought we were from Texas. That's a misconception.
Sure.
Huge misconception. And you probably thought we were in a sorority.
I wasn't going to say that.
But thought it. Like
I didn't think until you said that.
Yeah, all those things, right? They put us in categories.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think that, but
what would be your biggest misconception? The misconception.
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh, that I'm just like a big dumb jock.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Even today?
Yeah, or he's just like especially in this age, it's like, oh, he's just like a privileged white guy. You know, that always had it easy, like type of thing.
I think that's a lot of people when they see you in a situation where you're lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
You're very lucky.
So for me, and I knew that as a kid, like for whatever reason, I knew that like people would put me in a box, and that's why I said, no, I'm going to join the choir. I'm going to join the school musical. I was a synchronized swimmer.
You're not. That's not. This is not.
I wanted to be everything that. The first thing you guys asked me is like, what do you want to drink? I said, I've never been drunk. I bet you would never think that I've never been drunk.
Actually, you know what I said to Sam? I said, I feel like that guy doesn't drink.
But would you ever say to yourself, he's never been drunk?
We never would think that way.
Okay, most people.
No, really, we would never.
Most people are like, what? You've never been. It's like, how is that possible?
We've come across a lot of people.
You're a football player. Like, you went to parties. Like, how did you never get drunk? And I didn't have a sip of alcohol in college. I had one sip.
I think we have the gift of not thinking for other people.
That's great.
A synchronized swimmer, are there a lot of male synchronized swimmers?
No.
Were you on a female team?
It was all females, but there was an opportunity for men to do like
How old
strong stuff.
like lifting up women.
How old were you?
I was 18.
And you had to wear the tight suit.
No, I wear like board shorts.
Okay, I was like, that would be because if someone who's insecure to get in a tight suit and get in the water with a bunch of women would be.
Yeah, but I remember I was just like, I'm gonna do all the things I'm afraid of that people would never expect me to do. Salsa dancing. I started learning guitar when I was 18 as well. I started public speaking. Like I was like,
for you.
No, I almost flunked out of English my senior year, and my English teacher was so amazing. She would work with me every day after class to help me because I couldn't memorize vocabulary. I didn't know how to read and write still. And she was so giving and so caring that no one would ever think that I would write a book and become a New York Times bestseller. No chance.
Same here.
No chance. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I think I was the first person in my school to write a book. And there were so many, and there were great writers.
Yeah, but it's potato.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's great everything, and they don't do it.
Yeah.
It's really what you come down to do it. You know.
So a goal for me is always to like.
What's your?
I wrote a book about vulnerability. I opened up about being raped. I don't think most guys talk the way I talk because
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And how do you feel when people talk about that to you?
About what?
Like, do people get uncomfortable when you share that story?
Do people get uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry about your share.
I know.
They might get uncomfortable, and my goal is to just make them as comfortable as possible.
Break it down, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious because that would be often when people go through something, people don't know how to handle those feelings of other people and what to say and what to do.
They don't know how to. They're
just kind of like, okay. And anyways, what are you
right? Next.
And you're like,
so what's next?
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Yeah.
And
I feel like moms, because mostly moms listening, right?
Yeah, moms, grandmas.
I feel like moms that have kids, especially sons. I feel like 1 in 6 boys get sexually abused. 1 in 4 women. one of you, the statistics are, has been sexually abused in some way. Maybe it's not rape, but it's some type of sexual offense, abuse. Whether it was your kid, 16, 20, it doesn't matter. And it's 1 in 6 for men. And unfortunately, I was one of those 6. But I look at it as a blessing now, and I'm really grateful for the lessons I've learned and the message I'm able to share with other men to try to help them heal as well. I feel like I have more tools now because I went through 30 years of pain and suffering without telling a soul.
That's what I was going to ask. Were you able to tell your parents?
No. There was nothing, especially for me growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was not like a TV commercial that said, hey, if you're a little boy who's been sexually abused or raped, like, here's what to do.
Was there anything that
Here's who to call.
your parents could have seen or
There's
done?
nothing
There's nothing they could have done.
Nothing. It was at the babysitters. It was like the teenage son of the babysitter that I would go to after kindergarten every day across the street. My mom's working hard. My dad's working hard. They're doing the best they can. It's not like they could have prevented it,
They didn't know.
They didn't know, and I didn't tell them.
How did you work through that 30-year pain?
Anger, beating people up on the football field, like putting myself through physical pain, torturing myself, reacting, in unhealthy ways.
Okay. But you're through that.
I'm through that. I went through a lot of healing over the last 6 years. I started the process of talking about it.
Like therapy?
I went through lots of different therapies, emotional intelligence trainings, one-on-one therapies, different stuff. The original, I opened up about it in a workshop for the first time, which allowed me to say, okay, I'm going to start reaching out to other experts and therapists to like really talk about it more and really like figure out a safe process for letting it go and healing. And I think the first step for a lot of us is we don't heal the past. Whatever it is, whether it's your dad made fun of you for whatever, your nose, or your mom didn't hug you at night, or whatever it is, like we don't heal from past traumas. And it manifests in today with our current relationships, how we treat our friends, our kids, our spouses. It manifests until we heal the past.
But how often people don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Like
I got lucky that because when I opened up about it. About a year later, I started telling my family one by one. After I did like the workshop, therapy stuff with therapists, I started then saying, okay, I need to tell my family this. Like, I just need to tell them.
How did family receive it? Expected or unexpected?
Amazing. Well, here's the thing. I was terrified to tell anyone still, except for therapists. And I asked one therapist, I said, I don't know what to do. How do I even tell my mom, who's the one who dropped me off at the,
Because you're so afraid that she's going to
I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah,
I don't want her to be like, it's sad forever. It's like, I don't want to put someone through pain.
Yeah.
So I said, what do I do? And this therapist was great. She said, you need to ask them all a question before you tell them, and make sure you feel ready based on their response.
Oh, that's a good one.
So the question she told me to ask was, is there anything I could ever say or do that would make you not love me?
Oh.
Fucking hell. Every mom out there is like about to... And is there something that your parents could have let you know that was safe to do, or no? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think moms are sitting there thinking... Maybe
they could have said, like, every couple of years, hey, has anything ever happened to you that you want to tell me? But I was so, like, guarded.
You might have said no.
I probably would have said no. I would have said no.
But you knew the door was maybe open. Like, I'm just thinking...
Maybe. I think she might have even tried to say something like that at one point. But I think I was just so protective of my feelings and, like, guarded and, like, teenage
because
boys.
Because a lot of moms are sitting here being like, what can I do to help my children if they are going through something, or if
here's the thing that I think you could do. I mean, you may never be able to get something out of them if they've been sexually abused or had some trauma. It might just be a trauma with like a friend who said something.
Or a boyfriend that was a boyfriend. It could be right. You don't know.
That said something that hurt them.
Yeah.
That affected them in a bad way.
Totally.
Right. It doesn't have to be a physical or sexual abuse. I think it's going to go back to what you don't like to do. The power of eye contact is unbelievable. It opens the soul.
I love to do it. I don't mind doing it. And I just find it's intimate. It's intimate.
Very intimate. But when you get intimate with someone, you start to feel their soul. And you start to see what they're saying and what they're not saying.
Yeah, moms know.
But do you know also, like, just like on that point of like on eye contact is more like I'm fine to make amazing eye contact with a woman. I feel like really safe in that. But when a man stares me right in the eye, I've always been like shy around boys and stuff and like men, but like for no reason, just that that's just the way it is. But
Sure.
like when a man is staring me in the eye for a long time, I kind of just feel
Because often it's not a friendly. It's a stare.
Often
I'm
they're
going to
looking
eat
at
you.
you.
I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat
Yeah.
you.
Or
And
I have an agenda or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not often it's not like it's.
I completely get it. I'm not saying you need to look everyone in the
Yeah.
eyes for like 20. It's
It's
not
no,
that.
it's a it's.
But if you've got a young boy or a young girl in your house, the thing where I felt the most safe was when my parents were just so stressed all the time. They had
Yeah.
so much work. They were trying to pay the bills. I'm not blaming them.
no.
It's just it's like sitting down and actually just like no phone and just like allowing yourself to be present and listen.
There was no time.
There was very little time. I mean, my mom's got 4 kids. You guys got lots of kids. It's like chaos.
Do
You're
you
just trying to like manage.
Do you
Yeah, manage.
remember?
And you're trying to take care of your health, and it's like
They were so busy. Do you remember them like having fun?
no, my parents should have been married. Like they should have got divorced before I was born.
Okay.
So it was like a unhealthy.
But
experience.
when they were alone, did you ever see like your mom like having a good time?
We would go on a ski trip once a year, and that's when I saw us like having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much. I don't have any like positive memories.
We know this is a bad question, but if you were to have kids, not do you want to have kids? If you were to have kids,
Because I already said, oh my god, he was such a cute dad. Do you think like he's ever not capable to have kids? She said, you can't ask that.
I'm like it's
I don't
like
care.
this.
You could ask for
No,
it.
but often for women, if you ask them, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't. I don't like. It's a question that
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
it's
not
expected.
everyone
Yeah, I mean the guy
can't.
can. Yeah.
Right? Maybe the guy. You don't. It's a question we've learned
Sure.
that sometimes.
But you're young enough that like it's not like he's like.
Do you want kids?
Ah!
I think
Kids
I think I do. I think I do because, and I never thought I did until I met my current girlfriend.
That is often the
Wait,
case.
why did you think? Why did you not think so? Because it seems.
I didn't trust the women I was with.
Oh, okay.
I didn't fully trust them in my gut, and I didn't think this may sound weird, but I
Go
I
weird
never
with us.
thought But then I would stay with them, so it's like I had a messed up,
No, you are a human being. You can't
Exactly.
be who you are with what you didn't
I
go
know,
through.
I had to learn a lot.
So you're saying I am,
Exactly.
I think. No, you're not.
So
You just were.
I was, yes. So I never trusted the women I was with, and I remember thinking to myself, like, if I die and I have kids with them, I don't think they'll be able to take care of my kids.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
fuck.
Like in a
Who
way,
are you dating?
like in a way that these women aren't bad women.
No,
It's just like,
I know.
I just didn't feel like they were resourceful enough.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's a deep question for a man
I was
to think,
always,
by
I
the
was,
way.
yeah. It's like if I died and
Not
they had, and
Not
I,
a typical man right here.
let's say if I died and I didn't have the life insurance policy that I have and the money, if I
you
didn't have
worry
that
about
to
the
give them,
kids.
is my partner going to be so resourceful enough to make it happen?
Shit, we are. I'm not that
And-
we're getting married.
Right,
or
right.
having
Are they
kids or anything
resourceful
like
enough?
that.
Are they
But if you're
resourceful
looking
enough?
for some responsible women,
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take it there.
But it's like, do I believe they have the values? Do I believe they have the growth mindset where they're not going to hold like my child into a limited way of thinking? Or are they going to allow them to blossom emotionally, mentally, spiritually? And are they going to make enough money to support them?
Yeah.
Where they're not just dying.
You're really lucky. You're unique.
Yes, I was
In a
gonna
really
say,
good
it's
way,
word.
because that is a very forward thinking again,
Right.
where most people are like, "Oh, just
Like
stick it in her, and I'm gonna make a
Right,
baby, and it
right.
comes so hard, I get twins."
Wow,
You know,
funny.
Wow!
Yes.
Do people say that?
Oh my God,
And you know,
guys
we
are like,
have a lot
"I
of
got her
brothers
knocked up.
we
My
have-
swimmers are so strong. I got two."
Oh my god.
You know, it's funny. I have had a lot of life insurance on me since I was 27. I bought a life insurance policy, and then I add more to the whole life,
For us?
term life,
Yeah,
for my future kids.
If future kids,
Like just in
yeah, he
case,
definitely wants kids.
for like if I was gonna have future kids and a wife, I just remember thinking like I need to invest now in that
So
possibility.
family is super important for you, even though you had a really chaotic
It's
and somewhat
important to-
skewed family.
I think it's becoming more important the older I get. I'm 36 right now, and it used to be all about like me, what I wanted, and my dreams, and I still want to achieve a lot of big dreams. But I'm also like, I don't know if I want to do it alone for the rest of my life. Also,
You're not going to.
right.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you did end up alone, you'll find someone again.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like life is
Yeah,
long.
exactly.
You're not. There's people who feel like.
Well, I'm not meaning not
Life
alone
is
with like a
long.
partner, but like as I think I would
Oh,
have a family.
kids.
Yeah, kids.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah,
best.
yeah. Oh
I
my
have to say,
gosh.
they're hard as fuck, but they.
Really hard, right?
It's
I mean, I
really
got
hard.
a fucking dog right now that it's like stressing me out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if this is like a fraction of what a kid is like.
No.
Kids are like.
It's giving me anxiety.
It
every
is
day.
like it. People say it's like your heart outside. It is. It's not. It's like you're so vulnerable because their pain
can't
is
control it.
10 times your pain.
You can't.
You can't control anything.
Can't do anything.
And I bet even though you went through all of these things and your mom was like, your parents didn't get along, you would still never change your mom.
No.
You would never wish for someone different,
No,
right? At the end of the day, you weren't like, I wish, and so that's kind of our message.
I feel blessed for the
Do you still have your
child that I
parents?
Yeah, my mom is actually here. She works with me full time, and
Are they divorced now?
they were divorced when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And my dad he's alive, but he had a really bad car accident where he was in a coma for 3 months about
yeah.
15 years ago, and he's never been the same. So unfortunately he's alive. You can have kind of a conversation with him, but he has a lot of amnesia, so it's like
Hard.
asking the same question over and over, and I have to tell him like my whole life story all the time.
Who takes care of him?
It's, his current wife.
Oh, you have a wife.
Yeah.
Wow, seriously though, yeah, no, do it. We recommend it. It's a great thing, but
Oh
it
my
is
God.
definitely the most vulnerable thing you'll ever do. And he is not. It's like the reason no man gets questioned about their kids. You have kids, you move on. Where every woman is like, how do you do it? How are you here? What do your kids
What do you mean
think?
they question you?
Like how do you leave them?
how do you leave
How
them?
are we here?
Us, like
How
Really?
are we in LA? Like
Like you have
how?
a husband or
yes, but
babysitters
that's
or a
never.
family or
All of
That's
it.
not the mindset a lot of people have.
So,
the
like,
one that
what
you
are you
have.
doing? Abandoning your kids?
Every
Yeah,
question.
and how do you balance?
Who's going to take care of them? But when a husband goes on work trip, no one's like, the boys aren't sitting around and be like, so who's taking care of your kids?
Yeah,
It's always for us.
So when you asked that when you said that, I was like, you made me you gave me an aha moment where I think so many women feel insignificant when they become moms because because you lose your identity and you
Right.
become someone's mother, and mothers are given kind of in society outdated roles where if you work you must not love them, if you do this you must not feel as passionate about being like you can't have everything. Yeah, for real,
Who
moms.
says that?
It's a story. Like you thought you were not X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, yeah.
Many women will go to work and get on an overnight flight to come home at the sake of themselves, so they can wake up in the morning at 7 in the morning, lose all the sleep, which we've done. Where other people would think, I'm going to take till Monday for myself because it would be good. Never. How fast can I get home? Where can I be? And how can I do everything at once at the sake of myself? And most people, women, go to bed and say, I failed today because I wasn't enough. Because you can't be a super mom and a super person. No one is, but everyone else has flexibility to fuck up. Where moms, yours given. When we go away, or I'll give you an example. You have kids in tow and someone's throwing it down,
Toe?
like following you. Okay, so when you walk, you have like 4 or 5 kids
Mother
behind.
duck?
Yeah, literally,
Yes.
literally. So you're
100%.
in the front and they're behind you, and one is screaming,
All right.
and everyone's like.
They're
That's
judging you.
called throwing it down.
Throwing
One
it
is
down?
Throwing it
What do
Literally.
down.
they do? That people look at you and
Judging
judge
you, you're a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
mom, get your kid under control.
All right.
So a dad does it, and they're all like, "You're doing a great job. Bless your heart.
You're
are
taking care of the
You're
kids.
doing your best.
You're
Great job.
amazing.
You're stepping up.
I can't believe you're doing this on you. You're a super dad.
Wow.
You're amazing. Literally to
Yeah.
this day. To this day. So that's where it's so fucked up that women are often shelved.
But part of
as
the
moms.
community that we've built is these women who
Let's
feel
bring
like
it back to us.
Let's shame.
No!
So you're like, let's
I'm
build
in
a
LA,
community.
let's talk about me.
Let's build a community where we shame the men.
No,
Where we
never,
go- where we
never.
make
That's why
this-
we are bringing men in now because we like to hear.
I perspective, and also how you grew up. Because I've got 3 boys. You have a boy. We're girls of brothers. We've had boys around us, and so we like to hear a perspective from a different kind of a guy or different people. And you definitely have a unique perspective on life.
We're also trying to bring it to like a human level where you can connect not on color, not on race, not on ethnicity, not on how you were brought up, how much money you have, how much money you don't have, just like who are you?
Yeah.
And we have some things in common, even though even if it's like I didn't feel like I was enough in high school, I didn't like to the point where I dropped out. I didn't feel like I could go to college, university.
Yeah.
Like I did. But that story is unique amongst every person in the world where they didn't feel like they were something they should be. You know?
Yeah, of course.
That's all we're trying to bring it to.
What?
Can I ask a question?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, just for our people.
Gimme!
Do you believe
Don't
in
have
regrets?
anybody who works here?
Do you believe in regrets? Yes or no?
Do I believe in regrets?
Yeah. Do you have any? Do you believe in them? Or are you like every regret is
I
a?
think I've had peace with all the things in my past that I regretted or wish I didn't do or wasn't proud of. I think I'm at peace with it. Would I go back and change things?
Yeah.
I think they taught me lessons.
Yes.
I mean, maybe I would go back and be like, yeah, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. But it taught me the lesson not to do it again.
Yeah.
And to be more compassionate and to have more understanding and patience. So, I mean, I wish I didn't do certain things.
Yeah, but regrets are some things that people carry with them for life.
Yeah. I feel like I'm at peace about it all.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's like, should I talk to my mom more, my dad? Well, it's like certain things I
That's
wish
guilt.
I did more.
That's guilt. That's more guilt.
It's not like a regret. I feel like
Just
with the tools I've had, with like the information I've had, I've done the best I could in relationships, different situations, you know, everything like that.
I'm dying to know that because you're only 36. Like, I know what are you gonna do next? We don't want to talk about that. But
I hate that question.
I know, but like, what do you?
What's a dream?
What's a dream for you? Because there's a lot of years left, other than
Hopefully.
maybe having kids.
I hope there is. All we have is this moment.
All we have is this moment.
It's true though.
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen.
We
I
live
know.
it to the
I
most.
say to my kids before I go, "Give me the last time I see you."
I mean,
going on an airplane.
I truly just want I want to end a lot of suffering. I feel like I felt a lot of suffering in my life, and I'm finally at a place where I have inner peace for the first time in the last 6 years.
Suffering for people who've gone through the same thing as you.
Everything, like whatever, and anything is everything inside. It's like if you're going through sexual abuse or didn't have a parent or whatever it is, a traumatic breakup. Like if you're dealing with suffering, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're suffering.
It's feelings.
It's a feeling of helplessness, not worthy enough, pain, insecurity.
Confusion.
And you feel because of the process that you've went through and everything you've learned that you could help people release some of those.
I feel like I can help. Like I've gotten to a place of inner peace. And I'm not saying it's every day is going to be that way, but I feel like I know how to get there quickly.
Manage. You can manage when those
Manage
feelings
stress,
come up. You can be like,
And you
okay.
can help other people do that.
I feel like I can create, my goal is to help 100 million people every single week.
Okay.
Live a better life.
Okay.
And to feel more peace and accomplish their dreams. And so that's the dream, is to reach 100 million people weekly.
Okay.
So you have business goals. It's not just
I mean, that's not a business goal, that's a mission.
a mission.
It's
Okay,
to
but
reach that
that's
many
also
people, and
that's
in
also-
return, it'll bring in income.
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
yeah.
but my mission is not, I want to make $100 million. It's, I want
Yeah.
to reach 100 million people.
We
every
feel
single
that
week.
you're actually on brand with our mission. Exactly.
And
what we
by
try to do.
doing so, opportunities are going to flow. Like, the money's going to take care of itself.
Do you feel happy? Like when you wake up in the day, do you feel like a happy person?
I
You feel happy?
feel, when I wake up
Yeah.
next to the woman of my dreams, I feel like I want to cry.
Do you feel internal
so
happiness, or
grateful.
do you have to say you're great? Do you feel
I-
happy, like
I feel,
light?
I feel super happy. I'll tell you what. My girlfriend I'm not going to say everything's perfect. My girlfriend just moved in Christmas Day. And the night before, our dog broke its leg.
I saw on Instagram.
And had 9 screws and emergency surgery.
Yeah.
And she
And
moved.
you got an eye infection.
An eye infection. She moved from Mexico to USA. She left a career where she was at the top.
Wait, moving in with you is her moving from Mexico?
She was living in Mexico City as the top TV host in the biggest show in Mexico.
Till right now?
She just moved in like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure for you.
So it's been the dog. I had to take the dog to surgery. The fucking surgery cost $7,000 for a dog's
Yeah,
arm
yeah.
to get fixed.
American dollars.
What the
I
hell?
know.
Part of me is like, we should have stayed in Mexico to get this thing fixed. It would have been like $700, but I wanted to make sure I had the best treatment. When you care about something, it's like a child. I'm not gonna say
I
it's not
have a dog.
Yeah.
It's the
But
same.
you're like, oh, it's a part of your family, right?
Yeah.
So
She moved for you?
she moved for herself. She was going to move on her own to her own apartment, and which I was like, yes, because my last relationship was a nightmare living with, in the relationship with someone. I never lived with anyone before that, and it was bad from day one. And it got worse.
How long did it last?
Probably 6 months, 8 months, or something like that. And it got really bad.
And it's going well now, though.
There are great moments, and there's transition moments.
Of course.
Yes,
She's
there
in a
is.
new country too.
She's
for
in a
God's
new
sakes.
language. She doesn't know anyone. New
That's
culture.
very hard.
We don't have
You should have brought her.
We don't have all of her stuff, set up yet. Like, she's
No.
getting her routine, her food, everything's different.
And never mind
Yes.
American politics.
Just everything's different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad we don't live here. We could all go out. We'd like make. I mean, I know we're moms.
It's
but
all good. It's all good.
We would salsa dance with her.
So I have learned so many great tools over the last 7 years about how to be patient through the process. Whereas if this would have happened 10 years ago, I'd been like, get the F out of here. Like, I can't deal with this. I don't know how to handle it, the stress. And I'm just like, it's like every 2 days there's something.
Is she the
you
same
know?
age as you?
She's 29. I'm 36.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay.
And so every couple. So it's been a beautiful transition. It's been beautiful because it's like, man, there's so much to learn, so much to grow, and I just take it with like a positive mindset. Like when she'll have a moment of like anxiety or fear or concern or uncertainty, I'm like, this is going to be amazing. I'm so excited for this. Like, I love you. What do you need? How can I support you?
That's great.
If it continues for a year like this, I don't know if I'm going to be as patient, but it's like, I understood going in, like, this is not going to be this, roses and sunshine. It's going to be a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
There are beautiful moments, and we're opening up and we're communicating more than ever, and it's like, okay, great.
I really appreciate I feel like talking to you is not like you sit back and think about like what you're going to deliver with your words. You're honest because you're honest about your past, and now you're honest about the way you're living your life now. And a lot of people find that really hard. We always say, like, sometimes we'll talk to people and you're like, you just feel like every sentence was calculated before they said it, and which is fine because that's where they feel safe to, like, say those kind of things. But we're very surface. Like, when we think something, we just like blurt it out. And sometimes we're like, shit, I shouldn't say that, or like maybe I didn't say that right. Right.
Well, okay.
Drink some more.
I'm kind of smart. I don't know.
No, but we like
one of the reasons they watch.
Okay, that better. I like that. One of them.
Being honest with your journey is like it's helpful to other people who are watching you.
Okay, I have to ask you one last question for moms. If there was one thing your mom did that was unbelievable and you hope that your mother of your children do, what would it be?
She loved me. She loved me a lot.
What do we fucking say every single day? Love them.
She gave her best with what she had. She loved me. She showed up when she couldn't. She freaking did my homework for me a lot of the time because I was just like in tears and didn't know how to do it. And she would sit with me, but she would like be patient for fucking years. While I was like horrible at so many things, she showed up and she gave me a lot of love. Even if I didn't feel certain times, like she did.
I could look. All the moms are like, "Oh my god!" That's because at the core, everyone. I will tell you, the biggest thing is love. But mothers give it, and they feel like they're not giving enough, and that's the biggest. I'm just giving you
I mean, listen, I took it for granted for many years of my life.
That's normal.
And I'd say that I still take it for granted a lot of the time. Like,
do call her, tell her you love. Just like, thank you, Mom.
I have to remind myself, like, because she'll be like, my baby, she still treats me like a baby.
But she loves you.
Exactly. And so I just need to like put it past and be like, okay, I'm a grown man. It's my mom. Like, I'm just gonna hug her and love her.
And you're the
try
fourth.
To spoil her.
And you're the fourth.
I'm the fourth. I'm
the
last.
He's my little baby TJ.
Yeah,
right here. He's the only one who's allowed to get out of bed at night and come to my bed. Everyone else, get out of my room.
But I would crying for minutes in the middle of the night, screaming for my mom until I was probably 7, 8, 9 years old.
Well, you had how you gone through.
She would come in and I would just cry, screaming like, I need my mom until I was probably 9. And I would like put my leg around her, like hug her, and just like cry myself to sleep. And she would always come in, and she would always be there. And she was there for me.
We're so lucky. We're so lucky.
Let me tell you 2 things. Number one, we personally have, we both have learning disabilities at the wazoo, and we're in special classes and blah, 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 all the things. We have 2 kids, at least, who learn different. We call it, we say learn differently, not because...
2 diagnosed.
2 diagnosed, so far. And one can't read and one can't. He has been faking it, and finally someone's like, very similar to what you're saying, and has to memorize words. But what you're saying is, for a lot of moms who have kids with special needs and have kids with different things, it's like your mom was the one who carried you, like the love carried you through, but you had to find yourself, and no one can find yourself except yourself.
That's it.
And so I think a lot of moms want to fix, but they can't. So just be there beside them and love them.
Look at them.
And they're going to go through hard times. They're going to go through hard times.
And I think you don't want to shelter your kids. Like, I wouldn't change any of the pain and adversity I went through because I want to be as hungry in life to dream bigger. I want to be as hungry to say, man, I want to become better. How do I overcome these fears? How do I connect
you have to teach them to be capable and resilient. And sometimes we joke. But we say like our children right now are living like a pretty like nice life. It's better than life, and they have 2 parents that are married. And we grew up with single moms
with double incomes.
Yeah, and so we're like, sometimes we're like, shit, we gotta do something to make these kids more resilient. Like, cause we watch our single moms struggle.
Dude, I lived in a cabin with no electricity and no toilet in the middle of the woods with my mom, who was like, we would roll coins and wake up in the morning and throw paper before school.
Amazing.
Okay, yeah, love it. Now my kids are like...
You didn't make them do it.
No, we don't.
You didn't make them do a paper route in the morning at 5 a.m. My dad made me get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But there's no papers anymore.
And he got me, maybe he got up at 5 a.m.
paper routes.
I was mowing
Yeah.
greens on golf courses at
Yes.
5 a.m.
What age?
Like 13, 14.
Okay, our
My
kids are young,
husband's-
so we have to...
We don't have that
But I
much
was doing
land. where we live.
paper at like 10. I was doing paper routes at 10 on
I
my
know.
bicycle.
So you know you can get arrested if you
Miserable.
let them cross the street on their own. It's
But you
it's
sorry, and you know what?
crazy.
Pat, you
They-
and I, the second we could make money, the two of us had jobs because we watched our moms and they had.
Oh,
like other kids would be like, "Oh, we want to go out," and they would
Oh,
get
hustle.
like $20 from their parents.
I
There
lied
was
so I
nothing-
could be a
there was nothing
hostess.
to
I
give
was like
us.
a 14-year-old hostess at a bar, and men would try to pick me up, and I would be...
Wow.
Yeah, I hustled. With like a not the good
Did
hustle.
your
Like,
husband pick you up?
he was a professional hockey player.
So she picked him up.
And I... Yes, and
Toronto?
he was very... He's fucking handsome. He was...
Retired now? Or?
Yes, very
He
retired.
got injured.
He got
was
injured.
a fighter.
Wow.
And
My
I...
kid's
That would've been
favorite,
me. I'd've been like the
my
puncher.
my kid's favorite YouTube. If you look on the search, there's all the YouTube channels. Mark Morrow fights
He's
on
just all the
YouTube.
fights.
Her husband fighting blood.
That's
they just
awesome.
But he's
watch
the
it over and
gentlest...
over.
They called him the
Gentle giant.
gentlest person in real person. Never want to meet him on the ice.
That was like me.
Are you fighting the football field?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was because he had all
on
this
the
pain.
football
What was your
field,
husband fighting
But
about?
in real life, I was like this
Got it.
loving. I was like this loving, like wanted to hug everyone, just wanted to like.
It's a man thing, eh? Like, just because he can still get road rage,
Eh?
and I'm Canadian. I just busted. I'm like, dude, settle down. It's a road rage. Just you need to go on the.
Yeah.
I could tell when he needed to fight.
I don't know if it's an every man thing,
it's just.
but there are some
it's-
men that just have that. You know, because
flip the switch.
my husband doesn't have it.
Okay.
But don't you think?
Yeah. Yes, fair. I would never want to. If someone hurt me, I would be scared to what he would do. I'd be very scared to what he would be capable of.
Yeah.
It's a
One
It's a
time,
switch. It's
he's
a
not
switch.
psychotic
It's a
either.
switch.
It's a switch.
He's not afraid to fuck someone. But he doesn't. That sounds really bad. Like he's a
well, he's
fucking.
kind of powerful. He could knock
He's
someone
huge.
out.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's got
I have
baseball
that
mitts for
switch. I have
hands.
that switch,
Boom.
too.
So once someone tried to fight him, they were on drugs, and he just ignored them. He's like, "Come on," two of them, and he goes, "I'm fuck you up," and he turns around, and he goes, "No, I'm gonna fuck you up," and they were like,
He's got a
and
really
they
deep
ran, and they were like, because he wouldn't say a word, and these fucking and they were like, and I was like, "Oh my god, babe, there's guns, you can't do this."
I know.
You know, like, but
No,
it's
there's
Canada.
there's no guns in
And I'm
Canada.
like,
We're
you
fine.
can't- I'm like, you can't do this shit, babe.
Oh,
You can't do this shit. Oh, fuck
I'm
you.
curious. How long have you guys known each other?
no. Since 9th grade.
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind for a second. We are twin flames, which means through history. So okay, I'm gonna give you a quick story. They know this, but our grandmothers were friends that we didn't know about, and they used to cocktail before together, and they were both they were single, and they'd get
Their
together.
husbands died like when the children were still pretty young, and the two of them never remarried.
So they were a couple, and they got along, and it was only her family loved my grandmother, but that's the only friend they liked a situation.
My grandmother was like very like old school and traditional, and didn't like accept like my mom's family. But my mom always said, "There's one friend of my dad's mom that I love." And it was her grandma because she was such a nice lady and they had so much fun together.
So they died, and then when we got together, when we became friends, my dad's like, "Is that Natalie Telford, Giselle Telford's granddaughter?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "That was your grandmother's best friend."
And they had the best time
How
together.
fucked. So then we saw
Ninth grade, you heard about this.
No, fast forward later.
We met in 9th grade, but we were kind of like skipping school together. We both like didn't finish there, and then we did our own thing in our 20s. But when we became moms, we found each other through Facebook, and that's when we ended. When our family started seeing how much time we were spending together, and they saw like, "Oh, that's her parents. That's her." You'll never guess. Your grandmothers were like besties, and they had so much fun together.
So then we met Gwyneth Paltrow's medium who doesn't believe in soulmates. She believes in soulmates, but not forever. They're people who come and change your life and then move on. Okay. Then there's twin flames. And twin flames are people who've done life and they keep going together, and then they divide. They divide, but they're here always to do something for someone of greater good. So when you come together, there's nothing you can do to break them.
So we have been together for centuries, and we used to be these like women feminists back in the day. And unfortunately, back in the day, we fought for our rights. But there was a time where what we believed in was more than our families, and we left our families behind for what we believed in. This is what she said. And now we've learned from that is that we need to do what we're doing and continue on our mission, but also keep our families close.
Because you believe in energies, right?
Absolutely.
And like you can feel people's energy,
Absolutely.
and you know someone who's bad. Like the minute they walk in, you're like, holy shit, you are a bad energy.
My girlfriend, she's like, she can read everyone's energy.
Yeah.
She's
Really?
like, that's not a good person.
So can
That's
I.
not- I'm like, gosh, but I want to like meet this person.
You can feel it right away. You
Yeah.
can feel it.
Yeah,
They walk in and you're like, right? Anyways, we are one. We often joke we're one person. Like we can feel each
Feel.
other. Feel. It's the weirdest
I'm
thing.
curious, what's your full names?
Catherine.
Are you about to do a reading?
No, I'm just curious.
Catherine Elizabeth Belknap. She's Natalie Telfer. Natalie Proud.
It's Catherine and Natalie.
Yeah, Cat.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Cat-
Cat.
Cat-
Cat and I, yeah.
I'm curious, what do you think is her biggest downfall? What's the thing that holds her back the most from actually achieving all of the dreams that she has?
What is her biggest downfall? It would be mine too.
Well, let her answer that for you, but what do you think is hers?
What is her biggest downfall?
What's the thing that holds her back the most from having everything she desires and dreams of?
Do not answer that. You're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Do not say
I
Say
feel
it.
like we have. I feel like we.
Let
have.
Let her say it first. Go ahead.
Do you for you hologram anything?
I heard you.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I wasn't thinking that.
You weren't.
Say
No.
both of them if you want.
I would say that it is. I would say sometimes it's our kindness.
That holds her back
Yes.
from having everything she wants.
Yep. It sometimes I think that yes, I think she
Is
accommodates.
that the thing that holds her back? The biggest thing? Kindness.
Is that weird?
I'm just asking.
Could be 40 pounds. I'm trying to lose. I have a lot more energy.
I don't think she has anything. I don't think there's anything that holds her back. That's the truth. I'm saying something to make it up because I think sometimes we go weird.
There's nothing that holds her back. Gotcha.
I think we fucking.
What do you think is her greatest quality that makes
her,
her unique and special?
her ability to be 100% unique and push everyone around her to, like, just like there's just this. It's a je ne sais quoi of somebody who walks in and there's. No matter what size, what she looks like, you just walk in and you want to be around the energy of that person.
You do have a special energy.
Yeah, there's no.
Turn this into his interview.
Yeah, it's great though. It's great. No, there's nothing. Really, honestly, when you live with, we're together every day, all day. We go on vacations together with our families. Our husbands are both named Mark. We have our moms are friends. They've learned to co-parent together. Everybody. Her mom will pick up my kid. My kid will pick up her kid. Our life is very weird.
You're next door neighbors too?
We should be. We're almost. We live around the corner from each other.
I'm trying to buy a house beside her.
But
What's the thing that holds her back from having everything she wants? Is there something that you see in her that she could let go of that you think
yeah,
could
what is it, man?
take her to another level of her dreams, her happiness, her joy, her love?
I feel like just being like really like so thoughtful of all the people around her. Like, because if we didn't have all these people to care about and think about, and if you didn't have so much and it was just about you, you'd be able to like jump higher. But we have you have, oh God, she supports her family, not like her family, not just the people who live in her house, more than anybody else, any of her other siblings. She's the glue. So I don't say it holds her back. I'm just saying it probably slows her down.
If I was to be selfish.
Because she's not selfish.
But what you get back from the hold back is sometimes more than what you...
Yeah, love and connection.
Yeah, like my family, you know?
Feeling good about
So
you.
holding back meaning slowing down, but nothing's holding back,
Right.
it's just slowing down.
What do you think is her greatest quality?
I mean, like, I just think that she is so fucking capable of doing anything and making anything happen. If she has an idea, it's like a crazy idea, and she's like, all right, well, if we have this crazy idea, let's just do it.
Wow.
And she makes it happen.
Wow.
And I will always be her co-pilot to do that.
Wow.
Where she jumps in.
She got the chills. Here.
She jumps in. We do. It's like, let's go. Go.
Wow.
You know, I always said I wanted to do, like when we were stay-at-home moms, I wanted to do something different, but I know my personality enough to know that I can't do it alone. And I remember hesitating, like, who would you do it with? I'm like, I can't think of any friend, like, you know, or anyone around that would be able to do it. And then it turns out that we sat there and stared at each other, and I was like, we have more. There's more we can do.
People always saw us and would watch us
And
together.
she was like, well then.
Before what? When did you guys start this?
No, like they would watch us talk. Like we would be on the street and we would be talking, but we talk in a way that's I think very intimate with each other. That people are like, huh? And there's always like, there's something about you two that's not normal about other people. Like, you know what I mean? It's a weird
it's like
energy.
Deeper than sisters.
It's deeper than that.
Because we don't have to mess with
It's an
fighting
intimacy.
in between.
Right.
It's an intimacy that you can't touch. That a lot of people want to touch but can't. What?
It's unique.
What's
I know we are. So
How long did you guys start this thing?
7 years? So it started off
when she had her second and I had my third.
Yeah, but we
You started doing, like, what was the first thing you started doing? Like an interview show? Like
bringing moms together.
Instagram or networking?
No, just Instagram wasn't even a thing. It was moms in the community who had nobody and who would be like, we were stay-at-home moms, so we were experts, quote unquote, because everyone else was going back to work, and they're like, is this normal? And we had a natural confidence in motherhood in ourselves, essentially. But we're like, dude, it's okay. Like, we
started off with community events, bringing moms together.
That's true. 7 years ago.
7
in
years.
Canada.
We used to pay for it. We'd pay for it. We'd be like, well, we want to bring these people
lied to
together.
our husbands.
And then our husbands were like, what are you? You're taking time away from the family, but not bringing anything in.
Like, how much money are you bringing in? We're like,
we're losing money.
We're losing.
We never said that. We're like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel really good about going out and having a great night and bringing home $100. They're like,
but you
do you know how much time you spent planning this event, getting
6
people to buy
weeks.
tickets? Yeah, all that. And we're like, worth every penny.
And how much was the system you used to do that? All that.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, it was because they're.
So you started off with events.
Yeah.
That's how I started off.
A dinner in her living room with bringing women together.
That's cool.
You started off with events.
I started off, when I was on my sister's couch. One of my mentors was like, it was 2007, 2008, and the economy was pretty bad. And I was like, I don't know how to make money or get a job. He's like, why don't you check out LinkedIn? And I'd never heard of LinkedIn, but I went on there. I started spending about 6 hours a day on there eventually, just like kind of figuring out how to optimize my page and like adding friends one by one and reaching out to connections. And I started building groups. And there was a tweet up. You guys remember tweet ups?
Yeah.
In 2008, there was a tweet up that I went to in Columbus, and I was like, man, there's like 200 people here. There's like someone put out a tweet, and it's like all these people showed up.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I could do this on LinkedIn. And I started doing the first LinkedIn networking events around the country and started doing them around the world eventually. And the first one had 350 people there, and I made like $1,000. And then I was like, I'm gonna do another one, I'm gonna make it bigger, I'm gonna charge at the door, I'm gonna have sponsors. And I just started like,
same with us.
I'm gonna find a restaurant that'll give me 10%.
Same with us.
I'm gonna write a book to sell, so I have a product. I'm gonna do everything. And I did
but all
20
with the
events a
mission
year.
of helping people, like
connecting people.
Connecting people.
I have to tell you, we have a manager, and he said he went to a conference.
Yeah.
That changed his life, and that person who led that conference, you were the person who changed that person's life.
Yeah, it was your teachings that led to hold that whole conference that was life changing for people.
Cool. The person that held the conference had been to my event or something.
Something you had changed his life.
You inspired that person.
What was the event? Do you remember?
It was
great
something.
question. You told us today.
Yeah, it was something like it was a 5-day conference,
and then you go, and then there's like a 3-month thing, and they call you every day and remind you to reach your goals.
This is the event that got me to open up about sexual abuse. That I went to.
Okay, so he literally in the car today was like, this man I taught was his mentor was the person.
So he's like, I don't know him personally, but I heard him talk about
nonstop. Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And so
weird?
you trickled down to even more people that you didn't even know about that you were touching.
It's amazing what one piece of content can do to impact one person's life and another person's life. Like just what you guys are doing with moms around the world.
Can I blow your mind for a second?
Go ahead.
Blow mine
we you know it that we've been told multiple times that doctors prescribe depressed women and moms
to come
they
to us.
they're like, go.
People need humor.
Like doctors.
Yes.
People
Doctors.
need joy, humor.
Yes, laughing is our.
That's
one
medicine.
thing is, yesterday we had a lot of meetings, a lot of
We just keep
networks,
going, then we gotta
I know
stop.
this is gonna be good. A
You
lot
guys
of
are with
networks.
Bree, you guys are with WME?
Yeah, Bree. We were talking about
She
your
too?
agent.
Yeah,
she's
one of them. I mean,
Yeah, no.
later, she's on the team. Yeah, she's great.
She's our lead. Is she your lead?
No,
Oh.
but she's on the team.
Yeah, Bree's great. And we met with her yesterday, and we said we're going to.
She's awesome.
Like, okay, but we went to a lot of meetings yesterday. Now his chairs are hilarious.
It's all good. I'm like trying not to move, and I'm like.
And I think the best thing is this is how we roll on nothing. You know what I mean? Like we figured out this idea came to fruition the day we texted you. So
thank you for coming here. But we had meetings
Hopefully I can hear
yesterday.
this mic. I'm like.
No, this mic.
no, we double tape it and then we strip it and then we up.
It looks like a little dildo. It's a perfect size.
You don't even know what we do on the fly.
So I was gonna say before y'all interrupted me.
Sorry, now take it away,
We were talking
babe.
about laughter.
So anyways.
I think sometimes sometimes you have to
Laughter.
cry and you have to feel hard times, but we really get through it with laughter because
It's key.
that's another way to do it. And yesterday we had all these meetings with the networks and everyone was like quite serious. And at the end of the day, we were so exhausted because we
hadn't laughed
weren't
all day.
able to be silly, and that's how we release, and
You
that's
should
how
have been silly
moms.
in all of them.
We did. We
We
were.
tried,
But there's so
As
much
I
talking.
try. Oh,
and
so
like
much talking.
traffic and
I've done these meetings for the last year
Yeah.
and a half. It's like
yeah.
It's-
And then we came home, and I was just so fucking hyper because I was like, finally, let's have
Be
fun.
myself.
Yeah, we did. And then we
Let's
had Colton.
drink.
Colton was here yesterday. You did a tournament with him last week or something.
Baseball. You guys baseball
Yeah.
together.
We're on the same team.
But you didn't talk.
Sunday. I was in and out. The dog was with us, and we had to get back.
Yeah.
really
He was like, he
fun.
was there, but I never talked to
I
her.
know, I
we were
never
on this.
said
We were
hi.
a different team, same team. I was like, well, that's not a very team.
But
Team.
he had a lot of
I
same
share. I like. Well, you said hi to everyone, but it was just like so much
But
going
he
on.
had the same thing, you know, like going through being playing football his whole life, thinking he was going to be a professional football
Really?
player, and then it not being.
You guys
what
have a very
happened,
similar
and then
story.
like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Right. And
I
I'm gonna
guess
be the
I'll go
Bachelor,
on The
be most
Bachelor.
handsome man. You know, it's interesting. I was asked to be on The Bachelor 3 times.
Oh no, I bet.
Come
And
on.
this is years ago, and I turned it down
Yeah.
every time because I remember I was like, I was flattered for a second when they like asked me, and then I instantly called my sisters and I go, I just got asked to be on The Bachelor. Like, what do you think? Should I do it? They're like, hell no. I
Yeah.
was like, really? Like, I don't think you guys would be.
We have a few of those
And
things
they were
that
like,
we've been like,
they were
hell
like, no, like, no way. Like, don't do that. It's not going to be good for you.
We've been asked to be on The Amazing Race many a
You
time.
guys would be great at that.
You
We
and your
can't-
girlfriend should go on
We
that.
can't leave our kids for that long. That's what holds us back.
Because you know what would happen is we would
It's a
fail.
month? It's a month?
No, it's like could be up to 3.
We're up to 3. We can't leave our kids for 3 months. We
But-
can really
but
leave them
this
for
is what
4
happened. We
weeks.
would try and get kicked off, and then every time we get to the end, they'd be like, "This is not the elimination round."
Be like, shit.
Fuck, not again. We have to go on this one.
Where can everyone find you? What are you doing? Let's give them the social channels, cues.
School of Greatness podcast, Lewis Howes, and then I'm actually launching a documentary in a month.
On
Where are
what?
you gonna watch it?
I filmed it in the last year and a half. It's kind of like The Secret on steroids. Do you remember the movie The Secret?
Fuck yes.
Yeah,
Two
so-
hours.
We just actually did literally we yes, oh god, we could
My girlfriends used to say to me when The Secret came out, they're like, "I'm reading this book. I feel like it's your fucking words and you wrote this book
Wow.
because you've been preaching this to us for like this is before we had kids for all of our teenagehood." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we just
yes,
believe.
it's a thing. But I love that movie was so cheesy. The book was fine,
The
but
book was great. The movie was great. I was like, I need to recreate a more modern version.
Where is
of
it
because
coming?
the message is beautiful, but it was so cheesy the way they produced it.
Exactly. But it did well.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I'm launching it in a month. It's going to be for free for a week on greatness.com.
Okay.
I can't
So if you go to
wait.
greatness.com, you can opt in and watch it when it comes out.
Oh my god!
I'll
How
put it on
long
the-
is
that
it?
so much?
60 minutes.
Shit. Is
Oh
it gonna
my
be an
God.
audio experience too?
It's a visual experience.
But you can make it audio
I
too.
could.
Rip it off and rip it.
Does
strip
Oprah
it.
know you're doing this? Because she's
Who?
Oprah. Because she always used to bring those people on when after they
I
wrote
don't
that.
think she does.
Let's call her.
Let's, you know, we need to give her a quick.
Opes and I are like this.
Well, Oaks is WW, and
Oaks-
we're partners with WW,
Yeah, Oaks-
so
Are
we're
you guys
very
on tour with
close.
them or no?
We're
They're
trying-
working it out.
Amy
They're working it
Schumer,
out.
Catnap. I mean, I don't know. Get
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, Catnap. Same. Not really.
What does WW stand for?
Weight Watchers, but
It's
no
the new
longer.
Weight
Now
Watchers.
it's wellness. It's not about weight.
It's because they're doing a tour right now, right?
Yeah, it's
With-
just what
with
your
Oaks.
who are you as your best
But
self?
we're the.
WW is
Because
WW.
I don't do WW for weight. It's because I'm not a garbage
becoming
can.
better.
As a mom, I eat crusts and chicken fingers and French fries, and that's
of
it.
course.
That's
Cheese,
true.
Yeah.
Not even cheese. It's like processed cheese. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Re-
So I'm
cheese.
trying to take care of myself better
It's good.
as part of it. You guys, thank you. This is fucking amazing.
This was so sweet, 20 minutes.
Double pound.
Boom!
Downtown
Boom.
means something different.
Pound
But-
town! Thank you so much,
Double
Lewis.
pound.
double pound would be twice.
Okay.
But okay, that's
Double
enough.
fisted.
Already two on
Double
one.
fisting too. Not so
Thanks,
good.
ladies.
Oh, bye. Thanks, guys.